guys, welcome back to Coach's Corner. This week we're talking about running strides and how you can incorporate those into your program. Now, a running stride is different from a sprint because a sprint is an all-out effort right from the get-go. A stride, you're going to be starting out at a slow pace and you're gradually building up to about 90-95% of your max speed. Now, you do this over the course of about 80 to 100 meters, okay? So they're short efforts. We're resting in between each one. The rest can be a standing rest. It can be a walk rest. It can be a slow jog rest. Think like Ironman shuffle slow type of jog in between each repetition, because the goal is to be able to replicate each one and focus on form equally on each one and get to roughly the same cadence and same speed on each one. So if you're resting too little, you're gonna feel exhausted after the first one and you're not gonna be able to repeat it. So making sure that you're giving yourself adequate rest time. Typically, I recommend even equal rest, so that 80 to 100 meters, either walking or slow jog, or you can go anywhere from 60 seconds to 90 seconds to make sure you're getting that recovery in between. Now, running strides can be used for a few different reasons. So they're definitely going to be beneficial to focus on form, and especially form when we're running at a higher cadence and a faster pace. It can also break up the monotony of you're doing these longer, kind of slower effort runs over the course of in some cases, very high mileage, and we can get into a rut with our cadence or a rut with our form. So adding bursts of strides at the end of these easier effort runs can help break up kind of any of that muscle soreness that may have resulted from those longer runs, as well as snap us out of that cadence and get us back to what it feels like to be running a little bit quicker and turning over a little bit faster. Okay. Additionally, we can also use them to even develop speed and strength, in particular strength of our lower leg muscles, especially if we're going to run them barefoot. So looking at, the gastroc, the soleus, even muscles down into the ankle and into the foot. I do caution you, if you're going to do barefoot strides, make sure the area is completely clear before you go to do those strides. So if you're picking a park, check the grass, make sure there's no bottle lids or broken glass anywhere, because the last thing you want is to stick your foot right in that, and now you're going to be out until that heals up. So typically a good place to do that would be a turf field at a high school or a college, because it's going to be taken care of a little bit better, and typically it's not going to have any of those objects on it that could hinder you from being able to continue running. Okay. The last thing that we can use strides for is really as a primer before we do our high intensity workouts, as well as our races. Okay. So the difference being the other strides are used after our easy effort runs, those barefoot striders, as well as those post-recovery run strides. We can also use them pre-run in the case of race and hard workouts to really continue to let the body feel what pace it's going to be needing to go in the race effort or in the workout effort, and continue to warm the body, right? So we don't want to pull our muscle when we start off, when that gun goes off. So we want to make sure we're continuing to warm the body, but we also want to make sure that our body has a sense or a feel of what cadence we need to snap into right away, as well as what pace we're going to be going. So in the case of race efforts, I recommend that these strides kind of build up to a pace that resembles roughly what you're going to be going in that race. So whether it's a mile, 5K, 10K, kind of getting you up close, if not superseding just ever so slightly above that pace. And that'll help you feel ready to go when you get in there. Again, in all cases, we're focused on form, so we're focused on landing underneath us, staying upright, and getting a good solid arm swing from the shoulder and not just from the elbows. Okay, so form is key when we're looking at strides. Now, you definitely want to work with your coach to figure out where you can incorporate these strides, how many you should be doing when you're out there training, and how often, the frequency throughout the week these should be occurring. They will be able to give you that best advice based on your personal circumstances and what you're trying to achieve with your training. As always, thank you guys again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys right here next week at Coach's Corner.